Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and thank you to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. miskatonicbooks.com. If you happen to not yet know about miskatonicbooks.com, they're amazing. Miskatonicbooks.com are a fantastic resource if you're looking for difficult to find occult books, difficult to find esoteric books that have been out of print for a while, possibly. Maybe they've been printed out abroad and the shipping to bring them into the United States is a little bit expensive. Well, miskatonicbooks.com have got you covered. They make sure that they source all the latest and greatest, most beautiful esoteric books from around the world and from within the US, of course. They ship internationally as well, and they also keep an eye out on the market to see when books that have been out of print for a long time come back onto the market. When somebody's selling that, they grab those so that you can easily find them, and if there's a book that you've been looking for example, you can go onto their page and say that you've been looking for that book, and whenever it comes back into stock, they will email you, which is very, very nice as well. Miskatonicbooks.com are a fantastic website, and I really recommend going to check them out for example, difficult books that have been out of print for a very long time, right? So, for example, we've got a Druid in Psychologist's Clothing in its gorgeous artisanal edition from Anathema Publishing over here, which has been, just impossible to find. And, well, they seem to have a copy right now. And, for example, they've also got a couple of exclusives, such as the Deluxe Hekateon, which I told you guys about last week. Very, very nice stuff indeed. Let's continue with a bit of news from Anathema Publishing, actually, which I was just telling you about over here. That one right there. Tubelo's Forge has been announced, right? So it's not yet available for pre-orders. It's just an announcement. But very excitingly, we're getting a preview of the cover of this collector's edition. So you may know, you may remember, I definitely told viewers about this in the past. Anathema Publishing are no longer doing the 3 tiers of standard edition, standard hardcover edition, collector's edition, and artisanal edition. They're now doing one single standard edition, right, which is somewhere in between the two of what used to be the case. But in my opinion, they're at least as nice as their collector's edition, and I just think this looks gorgeous. I love the color that they've chosen. I think that it's just spot on. I think it's just right for Shani Oates' new book on Cochranism, right? The tradition of Robert Cochrane. Fantastically interesting stuff. I was listening to Shani Oates talking about Cochranism. Of course, she's the maiden of Tubelo's clan. Anyway, and she's her knowledge on the topic is enormous. I find it a fascinating tradition. Is really very, very interesting. So they're calling this one a spiritual successor of sorts to her first book, Tubelo's Green Fire. But successor doesn't mean sequel, right? It is a standalone book. I actually reached out to Shani Oates, and she confirmed this. So that one came out in 2010, very, very difficult to find. And I'm guessing that this one has got just definitely unlikely to be the same material, right? But maybe a way in that's more far-reaching or reaching into different areas. I'm not 100% sure. I'm very, very excited to find out more and to to read more when more is shared with us. The reader shall encounter not merely a phrenic treatise, but a rich tapestry woven with the threads of reflection and personal revelation. Oates' quest has led her through the veiled corridors of the castle beyond the moat and the maze, and her approach to the subject matter is a harmonious blend of rigorous analysis and contemplative introspection. The synthesis of the personal and the scholarly breathes new life into the passages and pieces of the clan's history, and its methods of praxis explored in the book, offering a balanced yet deeply immersive reading into the mysteries. What I'm interested in with regards to Cochranism is the way that they have not rejected many of the esoteric core principles of Christianity in the way that Wicca did, right? So that's probably the thing that really differentiates the two branches so much. So yeah, that's very, very interesting to me indeed. There we are, and then we've got news, of course, of the upcoming Semisilam. Apparently, it's on its way to the Canadian headquarters, which is very, very exciting. There was a little bit of a delay with the printer being shut down for a while, which was very unfortunate and definitely not planned, unfortunately. But that seems to be back on course, and they've received a couple of pictures, it seems, from the printer before the books were shipped to Canada, and that's what they're sharing with us over here. So that's very cool stuff. We'll be able to expect our Semisilam and Iao copies very soon, I expect. Very exciting. Good news from Aula Lucis, their Arcanorum, the third book in their Mysterium Hermeticum series, is already, in fact, available to purchase as a deluxe edition. So the classic hardback over here has been available to purchase for a little while. I told you about that one a little while ago, by Arthur D, the son of John D, of course. But yes, that Arcanum edition just looks so nice, so nice. I showed you guys the special edition of De Natura Rerum in my end of month roundup. Was it last month? It's just really, really lovely stuff, and of course the standard editions, which you guys probably already know, but so I'm really looking forward to getting to read this new third volume in Mysterium Hermeticum series. So that's extremely exciting stuff. Okay, let's move on to news from Hadean Press. Hadean Press is, they released the paperback edition of The Magical Art a little while ago. I guess it's been a couple of months now. And there was, again, delays with the hardcover. I think there seems to be kind of general across the industry that there have been these delays. And it looks like those hardcovers are now in stock and shipping to customers and those booksellers who reserved copies. This is an original translation of Welcome Manuscript 983, L'Art Magique, a translation by Armand Lamba, with full color manuscript images from Welcome Manuscript 983 and redrawn images by S. Alderney. It's a beautiful production, well worth the wait. I'm sure it is. I can't wait to show you the copy that I ordered finally at the end of this month. Fingers crossed, right? But yes, very, very exciting stuff, and delighted, of course, for Armin Lamba that this is finally available. Good stuff. News from Three Hands Press. So The Land of the Goat is a new book that they're offering on pre-order right now, and that will be available on October 21st. Obviously, the usual disclaimers that Three Hands Press have in the past been unreliable with their pre-orders. Unreliable in the sense that it has taken, in a couple of cases, an unreasonably long amount of time between the pre-orders actually happening and the books actually shipping. Nevertheless, that might not put you off at all. Certainly the people who received their copies of The Green Mysteries, I've got mine behind me, will be able to attest to the fact that they are utterly gorgeous books and well worth the wait, even if that wait was 5 years. All right, all of that said, this is a new book, and I have to say that it's not their normal way of operating. Okay, it's happened with like 2 books. I think, as far as I know, the majority of their books ship fine. The Pyrenees Mountains of Spain, France, and Andorra are the birthplace of the primordial witch known as the Bruja. This unique supernatural figure could communicate with spirits, cast spells, control weather, serve as the devil's consort. It was here, in the dark, rugged alpine landscapes of the Pyrenees, that the first secular laws against witchcraft were passed in 1424. Drawing on legal records, local history, and folklore, the Land of the Goat explores the Pyrenean witch, its magic, and evolution over time. That sounds really interesting to me, right? Really, and this is what's nice about Three Hands Press and so many of these independent publishers that I feature every week, right? Is that the topics that they pick are topics that aren't very well known, right? They're topics that are kind of niche and always kind of spark the imagination, I'm very, very excited about this one. It's going to be in 4 different formats. We're going to have a paperback at $24.50. Then there's a standard hardcover at $67.50 with limited to 1,000 copies in black cloth and color dust wraps. Then there's a deluxe hand-numbered edition in black goat skin with marbled end papers and slipcase. And so that one is, let's see, $385. And then finally, a special edition of 13 copies in full red goat skin with marbled end papers and slipcase. And that is $485. That's already sold out. Yeah, of course it is. So there we go. That's Land of the Goat. I told you last week about the Summa, Sacre, Magice by Dr. Stephen Skinner, how exciting it is, how, it's going to be the occult publishing phenomenon probably of the decade, if not of the century. I'm not sure. It certainly seems like it's just about as essential as anything that I've got on my shelves. I mean, for something to be more essential than Agrippa's 3 books of occult philosophy, it needs to be pretty damn essential. So yeah, maybe the release of the millennium, I don't know. But at the time that I was telling you about it last week, it wasn't available on Amazon.com. I now have links for you guys for Amazon.com for the US website. And I'll leave that down in the links down below so that you can grab that. Of course, I'll add the UK links once again so that anyone watching from the UK. I know those of you in Canada and in Australia and in all the other places, I know you keep asking me for links, but to be honest, it's such a hassle to have every additional link. So yeah, I have to stick to the 2 demographics that mostly watch my videos. I'm so sorry, and thank you for asking. So yeah, no, just Amazon links for US and UK, and with my apologies. We've got another book which looks very interesting, both in hardcover and as a Kindle edition. The World of Italian Folk Magic, Magical and Herbal Cures from the Wise Woman of Italy. That came out just a couple of days ago, drawing on her Italian strega heritage. Rose Inserra's Guide to the Folk Magic of the Ancient Culture. This ancient culture is a treasure trove of Italian folklore, customs, magic, and healing practices that will simplify your life and declutter your mind and heart. These practices fulfill the most basic needs of life: warmth, nourishment, connection to the magical and the spiritual. It sounds like some very, very nice, wholesome folk magic, right? The kind of magic that would have been associated with cunning men, cunning women back in the day. So yes, that's being published by Rockpool Publishing. Not sure I know Rockpool Publishing, but we get a couple of images in this little video that I'll let you play at your leisure. And then British Goblins, Welsh folklore, fairy mythology, legends and traditions. This is a book that has been out for a good 100 years or so, but it's got a new edition, and it's not just another scan and print the way they all are, apparently, right? Apparently this has finally been properly retypeset, with the images brought up to scratch. I hope that's in fact the case. Okay, so once again, I announced this a couple of months ago that they were doing this. It was finally released a couple of days ago, and so if you're interested in fairy folklore, especially Welsh folklore, then this is a book that you may already know, and yeah, it's just nice that it's going to be available as a nicely done hardcover. There's a paperback edition also on the same page, which kind of worries me. I don't know. It's anyway. Well, hard to say. But yeah, fingers crossed, because this one came out in 2020, and this comment down here was definitely not about that one. Who knows? Anyway, just letting you know that this stuff is out there, and no, I have not done enough research which would actually involve purchasing the book. So my apologies there as well. Sword and Scythe is a shop that was brought to my attention this week on the Foolish Fish Discord. Thank you so much. And it's this Regulus amulet, this Regulus talisman that particularly caught my attention. Long live the king. I just think that these are very, very beautiful. They're not inexpensive. As you can see, they are handmade jewelry, and clearly created magically, right? And they just look very, very beautiful. I thought some of you might appreciate this, especially knowing that they are talismanic in nature. Let me just click on this one and get a closer look. Astrological talisman of fixed star Regulus, Marquise garnet, set in stone. I wonder if there is a... Yes, there's a full write-up here. Okay. This work is available through Hadean Press for those wanting to connect further with Raphael. Interesting. Okay, yeah, quite a significant write-up there. So if you're on the market looking for, or should I say in the market for some nice talismans, these are definitely nice. The first museum dedicated to the Scottish witch trials is opening in Fife this weekend. The Leven Museum is dedicated to the thousands of people, mostly women, executed for witchcraft in the 16th and 17th centuries. There's an interesting article there in the Courier by the Evening Telegraph, I guess. I'll let you read all of that if you happen to be in the region of Fife in Scotland. It's or close at least, right? This could actually be quite interesting to have a read of the entire write-up. And possibly to visit. There we go. I know what to do this weekend. And then finally, my board game of the week. I don't know very much about this board game other than the fact that it's being presented at Essen this year. I think Essen is the Essen board game festival happening right now, I think, in Germany. But yes, I see this and I think to myself, I need to show this to people. These are all little 3D printed components, little bridges for creating the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. I can't think of something that I'd rather be doing with a Friday evening. It looks wonderful. Now this edition here, which is available on philibert.net.com, that is the French edition, right? I had a look for the English edition. There is no English edition currently available. I think if you look for a Dutch edition, you might find one. That's about it for the moment, right? So it's very new. It's kind of it's possibly even at the stage of being a prototype. They're saying that the game should possibly arrive in October. It's just being demonstrated right now in Essen, and I thought you might get a kick out of seeing that. There we go, folks. That's what I've got for you for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe. And remember to click that little bell button. Although it seems like even that isn't working, and I don't know. I don't know what to do, folks. But yeah, I think that if you do click the little bell button and click all on the little bell button, you'll at least get to see in your not in your phone notifications or anything like that, but in your YouTube notifications, you'll get like a little badge on the bell, I guess, in the top right hand corner. And yeah, you have a chance of possibly seeing my videos. YouTube doesn't seem to be wanting to show people my videos. Well, what can we do? If you'd like to support the channel, nevertheless, definitely the best way to do that is to become a Patreon supporter. Patreon starts at $2 a month. It goes the various levels. You can go and check out via the links down below what you can get at the various levels, but all of the levels give you access to the Foolish Fish Discord server, which yeah, people seem to really appreciate. And then if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, whatever the topic might be, whether you want me to read your tarot or if you want to just have a conversation about your spiritual path and you're looking for some recommendations, maybe some reading recommendations, maybe some new directions to start looking that would be right specifically for you, then yeah, the links to give me a call and to have a one-to-one video chat with me, those links are down below as well. There we go, folks. Thank you again, once again. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.